We're down here Tuesday and we're doing some weeding. This big old bed here, which is a big old bed, well, we want to start planting up in it. So we haven't really, this is the only one that we've not kept on top of the weeding. So we've been on it together for about a quarter of an hour and it's looking good. In fact, the soil here going down deeper is probably the best bit on the plot, I would say. It's weird how it's different in different places, but it was full of weeds because we just haven't, because this is the only one that we didn't top up with compost. We've done it all with the topsoil, but it's a big bed and money didn't allow us really to top up the whole entire plot with compost. We just planned on doing it as and when, but we will. But to be fair, we're just going to whack some root vegetables and stuff in this one. Probably put the planter in the corner to do the spinach, but it's going well, isn't it, Rach?
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Rachel is an expert weeder, and we put all the weeds in a bucket,
Yeah.
but the maid's tail stuff we just keep in a pile and we dispose of that separately, because we don't want that in the compost, because it'll continue growing and then our compost will end up with maid's tail in it. We don't want that, do we?
No, it is kind of like, this might sound a bit sad of me, but it is quite like therapeutic, just digging the weeds out.
There you go, you heard it from Rachel. Therapeutic.
That makes me sound
no,
older than I am.
I get it. When you get a nice big bed like this, weed free at the end, it's definitely good.
Yeah, it's like rewarding.
Should we take you?
The weeds are annoying.
I'll just take you around the plot a moment, and we'll see what's going on since 2 days ago. It's amazing what 2 days can do with growth. So here's our turnips and beetroots that we put in. Just give them water. They're doing all right. I buried them a little bit deeper so that the wind didn't batter them. Not gonna lie, we like our root vegetables, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully these working. What do you reckon, Rach?
Yeah, I'm pleased that they look alright, considering what happened with the green beans.
Yeah, well, if we go to the green beans, a couple of them ain't too bad. A couple of them, one in the corner I just dug up, but we are, as Rachel said, sowing new ones from, we got some new seeds.
Just in case, but they kind of are, like these three were actually alright.
Yeah, that one's grown quite a bit.
But some of the ones over there, they kind of look like they're coming back to life a bit.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on them. If they're not looking that good in a couple of weeks, we'll just dig them out. But the ones, I don't know, we don't really want to start two different types going. I mean, maybe we could just keep the good ones and transplant them around the first TP, and then have another style on the other one for the new ones.
Yeah, like one half is ahead of the...
Because we don't want them all at the same different times, you see. We definitely don't want to do that. Look at the strawberries, mind. Look at these.
Yeah, there's so many more flowers since a couple of days ago.
2 days ago, and they're getting really big and bushy as well. Now we got ones in a planter at home, and they're nowhere near as advanced as these. That's really quite impressive. And it's not all just foliage. We did put chicken manure in with them, and yes, there's a lot of greenery, but look how many flowers we're getting on them. Absolutely loads. So that's going all right. Potatoes are going mental. Loads of potatoes. And in that bit in the middle, we're going to weed that over and dig it. We're going to put more in about, I'd say in about a month. Do you reckon, Rach? Maybe like middle to late May. We'll put the other lot in, and then hopefully we'll have a continuous supply of them then. Check us out, potato growers. Hey, we ain't never grown any potatoes before.
Some things are working.
That's right. In not in a short space of time, it's gonna be all green and growy down here, isn't it? I mean, even the trees alone. Look, the trees, they were bare weeks ago. Now they're flat out growing away. So
yeah, the apple blossom's really pretty as well. That's come on a lot in the last 2 weeks, I would say.
if you look in our bucket here, that's the weeds we've pulled out of this bed so far. minus the maid's tail. So there was a lot. It's nearly there now. Oh, 2 magpies, 2 for Joy. One in the tree, one on the feeder.
Oh my gosh.
They're getting aggy with each other.
Probably a bit big to land on that.
Oh, they'll have a go. I to be fair, because it's the wildlife area, scared off by the train. Just wait for the train to go by. I often just scatter some on the floor underneath for the bigger guys, and then they just help themselves off the floor. Pigeons. There's always pigeons there. You can tell because their little feathers are in the water bowl that we fill up for them. Hello, Mr. Magpie. Where's your wife? We do like the magpies. I'm a firm believer in the magpie theory. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for girl, 4 for a boy. If I only see one, my day's ruined, isn't it, Rach? Yeah. I'm like, ah, where's the other one? Come on. So, nasturtiums, or what I called first nasturtiums, they're shooting up.
Tomatoes.
The nice lady who commented on the last video, we took your advice about watering the cucumbers from the bottom.
Yeah.
I know there's a little bit of splashback on the leaves there, but we did fill the tray up and let them soak it from the bottom.
And they're going to stay in the greenhouse for a few more weeks.
Yeah, we're going to go on all your advices because we do listen. Yeah. That's our leftover beetroot that we'll plant out a bit more later probably. And the tomatoes, which we're probably not going to grow down here because we've been told that the whole plot suffers from tomato blight, I believe. No,
yeah.
The chap on he's gone now, but he had an amazing tomato setup and they all got mashed up. Like they all
seems to have much luck down here, so we're going to grow them at home.
Yeah, we're just going to put them in a grow bag that we're doing other potatoes in, and we'll see what happens. There we go then, Rach. We'll be back in a bit.
Who's this trendy allotment man?
Oh yeah, my new allotment shoes, just for the allotment. When it's too hot to wear wellies. Got these in our local shop called Proper Job, which is a shop that they do. I don't know if it's nationwide, but there's around here. I think it's just around the southwest.
Proper Job.
They're like fake Crocs.
You'll never guess how much they cost.
£2.99. They look, feel, they even smell the same as a pair of Crocs.
Madness.
Absolutely the same. £2.99, and they got the little heel thing on. Obviously, Rach doesn't let me wear them anywhere apart from the allotment. So when I get back to the car, I put my Nikes back on.
Bargain.
But thought we'd let you know that £2.99, and they're well comfy as well. Finally got compost in our raised planter for doing our leafy greens. So what are we doing, Rach?
We've planted the rainbow chard in there, three little plants in there, so they're in, and then we've got our spinach, which has done really well in the greenhouse.
And we've actually grown it from seed this time.
Yeah. So we're going to plant those now. We're planting them sort of a fair distance apart.
Yeah.
Because we know they will hopefully go quite wild. So we don't want them too close together.
Bag and a half of compost gone in here, 150 litres, maybe a little bit more.
Roots on them,
yeah, that's brilliant roots on them. That's good. Oh, the sun's coming back. Apologise about the bad lighting. The sun went away, innit? No matter what angle we filmed, we couldn't get a good. Okay, that. As you would have seen on the bit we just filmed, I stapled a membrane to the bottom of this, so yeah. We're hoping the nasties aren't going to come up out of the ground slug-wise, and then we're going to be putting, which is why I put these poles over. I don't know if I've done it properly, but this is how I've decided to do it. We're going to put some fine mesh over the top, right over the top, to give it growing room, and then we'll water through it, and then we'll only pull it back when we're picking the leaves off. So hopefully, we're really excited about this because it's always been eaten by something, either slugs and snails from coming up from under, or the birds from over. And if it doesn't work with doing this, then I give up. It's ridiculous. So there we go.
Positive thinking.
Yeah, I know. I live my life by that rule. It's going all right though. It's weird when you come back after 2 days what extra growth is there everywhere. The potatoes have actually shot up.
Yeah.
We put their main crop ones. We know all this main crop and earlies and all this. We whacked them in a little bit earlier than some people would say, but they've done fine. The frost hasn't affected them because we hilled the soil over them when it was cold.
Okay, I'm happy with that. So
She's happy with that.
We'll give them a good water, and then we're going to cover it over with the netting.
Yeah.
And then that should
Mesh.
be,
It's mesh.
be okay. Mesh.
We're doing mesh, not netting.
Mesh.
Yeah, proper. It should stop pretty much most things going through it.
So.
Yeah, and then we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I mean, the last sort of week, these spinach plants have really, really grown as well, and you can see the roots are good on them. And they're the little rainbow chard. I keep calling it rocket chard for some reason. It's rainbow chard.
Rainbow chard.
And it looks really cool, like the colours and everything. So we're hoping we get something cool
and
off
if
of
it
that.
goes well, then our guinea pigs will be pleased.
Yeah, they will absolutely. We should bring them down here one day. They'd love it.
Imagine, yeah. Oh.
There we go. Okay, right. Let's. We're going to give it a water now, and I'm going to have a go at putting this net stuff over, meshing. I've never done it before, so.
Okay, there we go. Mesh is on as best we could do it, and hopefully it will protect our little plants in there. Happy with it?
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully, as long as the wind doesn't batter it.
No, we'll keep an eye on it.
Trying to test us, isn't there? We learn from our mistakes. But I'm quite pleased.
Yeah.
With that.
There we go.
We'll see what happens. So, if we go past the dying runner beans, which we're not too bothered about now, we are going to sow some carrots. We're doing them in short rows, and we are maximising the space by mixing up in the different beds. So we're going to put just normal orange ones in. Not sure what type we got. I'll have a look in a minute. And we've got some of those colourful ones as well, and all different colour ones. So I'm going to do probably do a couple of rows of each, and I'm going to try and sow them quite thinly so I don't have to thin them out too much. But I know carrot seeds are tiny. But yeah, I'm going to I've dug some trenches. They're fairly deep, and then I'm going to put a bit of seed compost in the holes. I saw on someone else's video. I think it was Jessie. Is it Jessie's Allotment Diaries? Shout out. She showed Rach and I that she waters the trenches before she puts the seeds in first, doesn't she? Yeah. I am right there, aren't I? Which we rarely do. So I mean, what we do is working, but we haven't done much direct sowing. So that's what we saw her do that. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put a bit of seed compost in because it's finer for the seeds to start growing in, and then I'll water them a bit. Then I'll put some seed in, and then I'll cover them over, and hopefully we'll have some carrots. Probably do some spring onions as well, I think, Rach. If we go over here, Rachel has done some lettuces because the chef from her work, he grows stuff, and he gave us some young lettuce plants. The root systems are really good on them, aren't they, Rach?
Yeah, roots are amazing.
We don't buy a lot of lettuce, I'll be honest with you, but we're going to cover them over with the same stuff as that, and then we're going to just see what happens, do an experiment with it. If it works, we'll do more, but we're not going to do too much in case they get eaten by slugs or whatever. We're going to cover them over from the top so no birds or whatever can get to them. Look at Flamingo Lady there.
Flamingo.
Yeah, nice, aren't they? They are. So there we go. So we're going to whack some carrots in now, and I think I might do some spring onions, Rach, as well. Yeah, let's do it.
Happy days. So carrots have been sown in that little bed there in between the strawberries and the rhubarb. It's all coming together. We've covered over the lettuce, so fingers crossed they do okay. And the spinach and rainbow chard looking good there. And then we've just sown some spring onions in this little section here. So yeah, we've had a busy couple of hours. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and if you aren't subscribed already, make sure to do so and hit that like button as well. Do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.